Hello, I hope everybody's good um, and well. It's been a while. I have my paper ready and my pencil. Okay, so I do have a pencil sharpener here on the side, but this is all you need: paper, pencil, and an eraser on your pencil. Okay. Today, as the title says, we're gonna draw, and we're gonna take our time to draw this, although it's a simple one, a beach scene. Okay, so you need a paper 9 by 12. It's a sheet of paper, and we're gonna cut it. So this will be together 9 by 12. So I fold it in half, and I rip it, and I end up having two, two sheets of paper. Okay, because one paper will be for a drawing, one paper will be to sketch and try certain things that I need to try with you. Okay, so let's start with trying those things out. I have spoken, but I could talk a little bit about it um, again today about the rule of thirds. Um, so the rule of thirds is positioning things in your space in certain places that makes them more interesting. That's really all it is. So that doesn't mean these are the only points that will make something interesting to see, or that is the only rule. You could try many different geometrical shapes um, to highlight where things are going to be in your drawing, but definitely it's not right in the middle. Um, I say geometrical shapes, but this is like unconsciously, like without, not unconsciously, but without pointing out exactly the shape of it. So if I put something in this space right here, here, and here, right, we know there's a line going across. Sorry. If I put something here, here, and here, we know there's a line diagonal going through it. But I do not have to draw the diagonal line, okay, to point that out in the drawing, right? It's subtle. So this is how the rule of thirds work. Um, and actually, if you take your phone, if you take your smartphone and you go to settings and you go to your camera and you go to grid, you go to the section called grid and you activate it, you turn it on. Next time you take a picture, your camera will have uh, these four lines, these grids that are highlighting the rule of thirds that we spoke about. So the way it works is like this. I'm going to draw my piece of paper. Imagine this is a piece of paper. So if I split this three times, right, will be like this. Not cutting it, just drawing these lines or um, lightly, very lightly drawing this line. So one, two, three. You see? So I have two lines. I added. Now I'm going to split it in three parts, up and down. So it will be here and about here. So one line, two lines, three lines, four lines. This is why your phone shows up when you take a picture. And what it means is that if you're going to take a picture, you put someone maybe around here, right? And this is their head right at this point. Something like that. So we have 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 points. You could place things, a tree, I don't know, a building, a street sign, heads, things in these points or in these lines. The horizon could be up here or down here. Um, you could do it by folding your paper too. And they actually sell little clear, transparent cards that have these lines. So then you can pull them up like a credit card and look through them because they're clear. But you could look through them and see the lines, see the lines and what you're looking at and where would you like things to be in your drawing. So remember the rule of thirds is used in art, visual arts, and photography. Does that make sense? If you fold your paper, you have to make sure that it's split it in parts, three parts, and then three parts. I'm gonna do it to this one, okay? Or with a ruler. Let's use a ruler. Let's actually use a ruler. And I know this paper is 6 by 9 because when we cut in half our 12 by 9, now we have 9. So 9 divided by 3 will be 3 and 6, 3 and 6, and divided. Let me draw these lines first. So here we have the paper divided by 3 parts like this. And now we're going to divide it by 3 this way. And this is 6. So this is almost 6, but it's 6, so it's 2 and 4, 2 and 4. Now the paper is divided 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So these are the points. These are the points in our drawing where we could place things and it makes them a little more interesting and balanced. We could put our horizon in this line or this line, Anyway, okay. So we're gonna do a beach scene in this sheet of paper, and we're gonna try to shade it as much as we can, put detail as much as we can. Let's see how it goes. I feel summerly. Okay, so get your materials and make sure you see how I flip this paper. Make sure one of your papers is for sketching and um, testing things out. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna have a palm tree. We're gonna have the ocean, and we're gonna have maybe some seashells, the sun. Okay. So I'm flipping this paper because I want to draw more and I want to show you something. I want to create 3 scenes or um, this you could draw or you could just look at me. But I'm creating 3 scenes just to show you what I've been talking about the horizon. So imagine each one of these is a piece of paper where we are going to draw. You don't have to draw this, but um, if you want to. It's a good test. So I'm going to make a palm tree here. Put the sun here in all of them. All of them will have the palm tree and the sun. Something is going to change. Only one thing. Imagine I'm drawing very quickly just to show you. I keep repeating myself, but it's very important what I'm saying. So imagine this is a palm tree and the sun, but something is going to change on each drawing that makes it differently. So this is the palm tree and the sun in this paper. Palm tree and the sun in this paper. Palm tree and sun in this paper. But look at this. I'm going to put a line way up here and a wavy line here. Actually, I'm going to put the wavy line always here, always. That is the shore. That is the shore of the water, right? But this line is way up here in this one. And this one is right in the middle. And in this one is way down here. And I'm going to grade it a little. I'm going to grade this area. Grade it with my pencil. And the reason why I'm grading is because I want to really point it out. I don't want it. I want us to see it. With the paper white, you can't see it, but I want to really see it because all this gray area, guess what it is? It is the ocean. It's the water. But there's a difference. And if you can think of it, shout it, say it. It is the ocean. All right. So what's happening on each one of these is that the horizon, this line, is changing, right? Here is very high, here is like in the middle, and here is very low. So I spoke about this before, but I wanted to really make the point that the horizon will always be at our eye level. This is the horizon line, and it will always, let's see what that means, will always be at our eye level. So what that means is that when we look at this picture where the horizon line is way up here, the artist is making us believe, right, that we are very high above ground. Here we must be either on a cliff or on top of a roof of a house or something to be able to see the beach like this. Okay, because it allows us to see more water because we're high ground. Does that make sense? Because this line, remember, we already said it's on our eye level. That's a rule. So the artist is making us believe we're above the ground, very high. In this one, this is kind of like middle ground. So you could be just standing, walking on the beach, right? And you look at the beach and it's right in the middle because your eyes are looking at the horizon right at the eye level. And then in this one here, way low down here, the artist or whoever took the picture, right, is making us believe that we're laying down or we're on the floor of the beach. Can you see that? Does that make sense? Doesn't this make us think we're on the floor? Sometimes you could barely see the horizon line. That will mean that you're very low on the ground, laying on a tower or something. While this one, you must be high on a cliff or something. And then this is kind of normal. So I want to point those out because when we paint something that is a landscape, right? Normally we keep the horizon line normal like this, but we could do anything we want to make the viewer think they're they're they are at a certain position, right? According to the horizon in the picture, right? Because whatever the in the museum, when they look at the picture in the museum, that's a different reality. But the picture itself, right, catches a moment. So in this moment, when you look at it, you look at it from the point of view of someone that's high on a very high place. When you look at this, you're looking at it from the perspective of someone that's laying down in the ground, and then this one. Okay, so let's get started with our picture. We may use this paper to sketch, kind of like when we do our, our shell. Let's see. You see, like a seashell. I'm just making this out of the top of my mind, but you get the idea. I just made a seashell we could use for our drawing. Um, okay, so I'm not gonna draw these lines, but you see them here with the points, and I can actually speculate or very close, point out where these dots should be. You know, one should be here. So these points are rule of thirds. So try right now on your paper. I don't know if you can see them. I just marked. You don't have to use a rule. You could by eye. You see how I can clearly point that this is one, two, three, one, two, three. So you could put them um, with your eye and then erase them. If you put it here and you don't feel it's correct, erase it until you get it right. But have those 4 points because they will help us. If you draw a line here, right, we could put our horizon there, and we will. But that's the idea. Okay. We don't. We might just do the drawing and the shading. I'll leave it to you, which is adding a little more detail or pointing out the scenic we want. That takes a long time to do. Um, but at least the basics we will get. So we know our horizon. Um, could use the other sheet of paper. So let me teach you how you can use a sheet of paper to draw a straight line as a like if it was a ruler. So as long as you have 2 points, you see the distance here is the same in this one than this one. So as long as I have these 2 points, I know these are straight lines. That if I match them, look, if I match this line, I know I'm going to get here a straight line. Okay. But I have to match. I can't have it like this or this, right? Gotta be like at this distance too much because I know this is a 90-degree angle, like a table, 90 degree. So if I match, if I match these 2 dots right here, I could draw my line. I'm gonna erase basically the dots later and stuff, and because we're gonna have palm trees and things, but okay. So now I have the line. You know, when you use this, you could use it in different ways. You could put things in these dots. Yes, you could use the lines, but you could also use the squares to keep certain things. Like I could keep a thing in here, or just in here, or just in here, or you know, and that still makes it appealing. It's all about not centralizing it, making dynamic. Okay. So let's do this is the water, right? So now down here, maybe about here, you see, I don't really care if this line is not straight, because this is this is the shore. Okay. I do want to use this dot, so I'm gonna put here. I'm gonna put right here the sun, right in this where this dot is. You see, is where the sun is gonna be. So I could erase the center, and the sun matches right there. Okay, I'm gonna erase these dots a little just to help my vision. I know where they are, but um, okay. When we do our palm tree here, um, I'm not gonna line it up here. It's too close to the, I'm gonna keep it in this area. That's what I meant to say. And it's gonna curve, kind of like in our sketch. Remember? So I'm gonna come from the ground, curve it, ground, and then the thickness of the trunk goes equal, right? Equal, but it narrows up here a little. See, it's a little more narrow here as it goes up. It's almost like it's growing, and this is true in nature. As it grows, it gets thicker and older and stronger at the bottom. So up here. So I'm going to erase the lines that go through it. So now the palm tree is actually in front of the lines. Can you see this? We're going to keep it simple. It's a simple drawing, so I'm not going too complicated. And then the leaves, we're going to do, let's see how many we can do. One, they're like curved, like an umbrella. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven is a good number. I'm going to erase this dot here. I'm going to use it. But I have 7 lines right there. The way we're going to do the leaves is that when you do a line like that, right? Let's say this is one of the leaves. Out of this stem or of the leaf, you do little pointy daggers like this on one side and on the other side. Sorry, pointy. And they keep coming down until it becomes smaller and smaller. So as they come down, please make them smaller. See, they become smaller. And then you have the leaf of a palm tree, which is made out of these thin little daggers like that. Okay, so this will take a little time, but we can do it. So the tip is the small one. The base over here is the thick one. So thick one, thick one, thick one, thick one. Thick one here, thick one, thick one, thick one, thick one. Small one, thick one, small one. You see how it's starting to take shapes? I know it's a mess here in the base because there's a bunch of them. So thick one, hiding back there. You don't have to draw it if you know it's there and there's something else already there. So thick one becomes smaller one. I'm emphasizing the line in the middle. So thick ones are here. Thick ones are here. Sorry, on the other side. The small ones, thick ones, becoming small. Thick ones to become small. Thick ones here. Or start with the small. Small ones. Okay, so this is our palm tree. I'm gonna darken this here, this area, because I know there's a lot going on. So I'm gonna, by darkening, I'm kind of hiding things. You could put a couple of coconuts if you want. Circle little ovals there. But so that's our palm tree, and the trunk will have this kind of wavy lines building like this, up down to the base, because that's how a palm tree grows. You see that? And we're gonna darken the opposite side to the sun, this side, not this side, this side. Darken it, not darken it, like make it a little more shady back here. Right? So I shaded this side, opposite to where the sun is, and maybe shade very lightly, like this here, very lightly. Okay. So this is very important. We need to do it before right away, so we don't forget. I'm gonna shade just like we did in the sketches, the area that was the water. Remember, let's shade with the pencil going horizontally, sideways. You see on the side of, not like this, but on the side of the pencil, going from left to right or right to left. Try not to shade like this here. We're gonna follow the pattern of the water that is horizontal. See that shading? And we're going to emphasize making darker where this edge is here, the end of the ocean here, the horizon line. So this part, we're going to make it a little darker, okay? It's very important. And when you go to the beach next time, look very far away. Doesn't matter if the ocean is light or dark. This part will always be darker because it's far down on our it's far away from us. So the farther away in this case, the more thick and dark it gets. Usually far away, okay. So usually things far away are light and gray and blue and light. But that's because, think about it, there's more air between us and the object you're looking at. So the air makes the object look lighter. And at some point it could even not, it could make not let us see it, the clouds and the air. But in this case, it's a little different. So the theory here, it's not theory. So what's happening here is it gets darker as far away here the water is because there's more water. So instead of air, you're looking at the water, and this line down here is so far away that there's more water concentrated between our eyes and this space. So that's why you want to emphasize this end to be darker. It's just the way it is. Go to the beach and prove it. Observe. When you try to draw from nature, and you're gonna see a lot of these little things I'm saying on your own. Um, so drawing from nature makes us more attentive to our surroundings and like what you know. Okay, so I'm making this part here a little darker. I'm gonna use my paper, remember, and put a line here to make sure that it's straight. to make that line a little more darker and straight. Okay. Perfect. You see how darkened? Okay, so now I'm gonna make the line here a little dark, just a line where the sand is supposed to be, and maybe another line, a few lines, not touched to each other. You see that? Another line. So this is where the water breaks. And now with my eraser, sorry, bring this closer so you can see it better. And maybe shut this. There you go. That was crispy and it went away. I want the camera to stay focused there. Come on. Maybe it's the light. There you go. Once I put the pencil down. But you see the... You see the picture. That right there. You see the lines. A little shading here. The sun. So with the eraser, your pencil eraser, we're gonna make lines, very thin lines too, in this part. Just some of them, look. Not too many. You see how I'm kind of erasing some parts? See how there's now like little highlights? Here. This erasing, can you see that? Okay. So this is what I meant by saying that this will take some time, but I'll leave it up to you in this part to put little dots. I'm gonna maybe just do this corner, but these little dots, some of them are dark, some of them are lighter, but you know already what this represents. The sandy beach. So you're gonna do this like this all throughout this area and make sure that some of them are light and some of them are dark. So when you put pressure on the pencil, diversify them, you know. You see, imagine this whole area with these little dots. Okay? Imagine if this continues. This continues all the way down here. This is what you'll do on your time if we don't have time in the video. But on this corner here, I'm going to do that shell that we did. It's kind of like a wavy thing here on the top, flat on the bottom. And as you come down here like a pyramid, you're going to do bumps. 1, 2, 3. You see? 1, 2, 3, 4 bumps. And now here you're going to curve, make these curvy lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here in the middle, you make a circle and hold, like if it's, oh, I'm sorry. I'll draw it again. It was out of the screen. This was out of the screen. So I'll draw it again. Okay. It'd be like a pyramid with bumps. So you're going to go wavy, flat on the bottom. And now comes 1, 2, 3, 4 bumps. You see these 4 bumps? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to take a curve down here like that. 1 curve, 2 curve, 3, 4. You see? And then right in the middle where this first curve happens, this one, I'm going to darken this here. What this represents is like if there's a hole in there, like, like a hole, like if this is, and that makes it a shell, just like this one. You see? That's exactly what I did here. So obviously this will be surrounded by sand. Give it a try. Go back on the video if you need to, or pause it. Okay. Fill this with the sand. Then birds. We're gonna do maybe 5 birds. Birds are like the curve. It's like a curve like this. See, like the letter M, but very spread out. Not open like this, but the more spread out, the better. Like that. Like this. Like this one. So if you do this, right, then you do the body, and then you thicken the wings here in the entrance, and that is your bird. I'm going to do it a couple of times. This is why it's good to have this paper. So letter M spread out. The body is like a little bump here. And then these are the wings, right? And one thickens here at the beginning. One here thickens here at the beginning. Do it again. Okay, now let's put it on the real world. So 5, I say 5 because 5 is a good number, 3, 5. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. The key to this is to make them all different sizes. So there's different sizes, I said this before, represent they're in different distances. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like seagulls or okay. Clean your drawing because your hand dirty. You see how dirty my finger is right here? By touching the paper, you're dirtying the drawing. There's no boats or anything. I was thinking of doing that, but no. We're going to draw this peaceful scene. Make sure you keep doing this. Let me do this for a little bit to show you. Oh, there's something I want to add. Yeah, sorry. There's something I want to add. So when it happens in the distance, we're going to create a little bit of land in the distance, not an island, but kind of like the edge of the this part, this island, this land. Keep doing dots over dots, to kind of compensate to reveal this area. Okay, so here it's gonna end thin here. In this line, on top of this line, we're gonna make something coming in, up, down, up, and then make it lighter. So these are mountains way far away on top of the water here, and maybe little lines like this representing just tiny little lines representing trees or things on top of the mountains far away. You know, see, it's literally just tiny little lines. So look at the lines that are very basic, but far away they look like it's part of the part of the land here. So this is it. This is the drawing. You could build, maybe making a boat somewhere here in the distance, like a little sailboat. Um, I'm happy with this. I'm gonna sign it in the corner where the seashell is. But fill this with the sand. I'm not done with this part. But you gotta keep going with this. I'm gonna sign here. And I'm gonna show you one last time. But this is our drawing. So you can see the entire thing. There you go. You saw that? So here's our drawing. Maybe if I put it like this in an angle, it would be a little better to see. There you go. Right there. Birds, sun, seashell, sand, water, palm tree. And just because the sun is positioned right there, the sun is positioned right where the rule of thirds fall, it makes it a little more interesting. If rather than being anywhere else in this proportion for this drawing, right? Because we took those measurements for this paper. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you, and see you next time. Keep drawing, doing art, painting too. Okay, these are the basics of painting, these drawing lessons that we've been doing lately. Have a great day.